It's a hard one.
Pleasant shot by Moseley. I'm not sure any country in the world now prioritises red ball cricket. I would say that England probably one of the last ones, but even we have a break in our season for a month now to accommodate the 100. I would say that the Big Bash has overtaken the Sheffield Shield in Australia, and the IPL is just a behemoth, isn't it? It's just huge. It's massive, and it's overtaken
the biggest T20 franchise tournament happening in the world.
Yeah.
But again, nothing's going to be able to compete with that, because if you look at India, you're completely beaten by the population, the numbers there. You won't be able to compete.
No, exactly. I mean, that's why India have become a superpower, because a lot of sport now is about rights, television rights, isn't it? And with a country of 1.3 billion people who are obsessed with the game of cricket, it's you can see how India have become a dominant force in world cricket.
And of course, depends on what your country's national sport is. Football's extremely popular here, and in India it's cricket. So when you have the population and you've created the star players as well, right? So India's quite good at giving players a spotlight, and they get mobbed everywhere they go. And that same sort of stardom you don't see translate into players here, but that's also a cultural element. Pushed straight to mid-wicket. That's why you see so many of the big dogs in Indian cricket also escape to the UK during the summer, so they don't get mobbed by fans and they can enjoy some quiet time.
Virat Kohli's moving to England, isn't he? I believe. Is there a rumour going around?
I know he spends a lot of time over here.
I know that Sachin Tendulkar is quite happy in London. I think he's got places all around the world, hasn't he? But I think he likes spending time in London.
At the back end of this year, actually. They've announced the dates for that one. ILT20 taking place throughout the course of December.
From Rana.
It's
a lovely place to be.
Cup dates.
Especially in the summer. I don't think anything is nicer.
A lovely bit of carry through from Rana there.
And if we get a proper summer, it's a glorious place to be.
Back nicely, Dan Moseley.
It's an interesting one, isn't it, these franchise leagues around the world? Because at the moment they're talking about cutting back the county championship here. PR advisor for the Kent Tourist Board, obviously says Kent is up there as well.
At the back end of this year, actually. They've announced the dates for that one. ILT20 taking place throughout the course of December.
There's a gully in place now for Haynes. We've lost the other slip. Flashes at this one. Played that shot quite a few times today, Tom Haynes. You just stay a little bit beside the ball. .373 for 5. Been good, has Rana, since he's been chucked the new ball. Just started to draw out that flow of runs a little bit.
Yeah, he's probing away, isn't he? Just bowling back of a length.
Kids running in front of us, trying to find some of the India A players on the boundary to sign their autograph book. It's a better line from Harshit Rana.
Yeah, that's what it's about. And the Indian players have been excellent, I think. Fine role models.
That ball straight to cover will conclude the end of the over as well. 88 overs bowled in the Lions innings. 374 for 5. Mosley on to 30 now. Haynes 153 to his name. 2 runs from that over.
Yeah, we've got a drinks break coming on.
It's been an hour since the players have been on the field.
Yeah,
Before you think it's a declaration.
Yeah, no, exactly. I did think about it this time. There was an audible gasp there, wasn't there, with that bump ball? There's a group of Indian fans who are situated down on the bottom end of the ground, down by the cafe, where quite a lot of spectators tend to congregate here at Canterbury.
Do you like being scattered amongst spectators at grounds sometimes?
Yeah. I mean,
It's quite entertaining sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe you can see it's been a bump ball, but they're over the moon, delighted, celebrating as though it's a wicket.
Yeah.
And then absolutely disheartened as soon as they see the replay on the big screen.
In England in August, whilst the 100's going on, the counties play a 50-over competition called the Metro Bank One Day Cup. And a lot of those games, especially at the bigger counties whose grounds are in use for the 100, tend to use outgrounds. And outground is not the main ground. There are some absolutely lovely venues on the circuit. I'm lucky enough to be going down again to Cheltenham College, which is an absolutely gorgeous venue with the spires, and it's like going back in time. I covered Warwickshire versus Surrey last year at Rugby School, which was another really nice place. And again, you're in with the public. The only problem there is you've got them walking in front of you as the bowler's bowling the ball, and you're weaving from side to side, doing a more than passable impression of Bez from the Happy Mondays. So, as you're trying to see the action as they're going past you. But there are some lovely ones on the circuit. Arundel's a nice one down in Sussex.
Arundel's a beautiful setting.
Yeah. Stowe School, where Northamptonshire play. That's lovely. That's very pleasant. A lot of them are the old sort of schools. Or some lovely club grounds. Went to Leicestershire, use a venue called Kibworth, which I think they were using for women's cricket this year.
Yeah,
And
they have been.
yeah, I went there the day after, covering Surrey last year. I went there the day after the news of the sad passing of Graham Thorpe, who was a loyal servant of England and of Surrey. And I thought Leicestershire handled the whole event with tact and handled it really well.
It's been thirsty work this first hour after lunch. Tom Haynes and Dan Mosley have been going strong. Came back from lunch. England Lions 333 for 5. Since then, they've been able to put on 41 runs on the board. And finally, it looks like peak levels of hydration have been reached.
Yeah.
We should be getting underway. Not like the over rate has been lacking behind enough as it is. 54 overs left in the day.
Yeah, there's no penalties for a slow over rate, but India A have been bowling at 12 an hour. which is, yeah, not great. Not great.
Especially when you've got something like someone like Anshul Kamboj with a run-up that ends you up in Calais, north of France, not far from that, from where we are. It will be taking you some time to get through those 6 deliveries.
He has to swim the first 18 miles of his run-up. Dodging the ferries coming out of Dover. Climbs up the White Cliffs and he's into his run-up.
Or triathlon. I'll be into Dan Mosley.
In he comes. Mosley crashes that one off the back foot. Out through cover point. But quite a defensive field. And just goes for one.
Yeah, they've gone onto the defence quite soon again after taking the new ball, India, eh?
Yeah.
New ball taken 8 overs ago into the 9th now with the new ball.
Yeah, there's a deep cover point. There's a deep square. And mid on and mid off are halfway back to the boundary. There's also a long leg. So you've got 3 on the boundary. And mid on and mid off pushed fairly deep. And that's forward defensive, which dribbles out to the aforementioned mid-off. A tackle there. That's, where's that one gone? To the
Gully.
to gully, yeah. Just blocked by the wicket keeper there. Couldn't quite see. In fact, that's tackle down here at long leg, isn't it? A fine leg. I think just going through his paces, going through his exercises. So I wonder if he's been told to warm up. Anshul. That's lovely. Sharp, but just goes nowhere. He's just got into his shell a little bit. He got his 100 off 138 balls. And the next 53 runs have taken 107 balls. Seems he got his 150 a long time ago, and he's only added 3 more to his total since then. Just keep him quiet a little bit. They've cut off his shot square the wicket through the offside. He pushes that one again defensively into the covers. 375 for 5. Haynes 153. Been out there since this time yesterday. Mosley 31 or 54. Salmon Actors due in next. He likes to give it a whack. Played through the offside. Has he got enough on this? No, he's not, because the fielder out there keeps Haynes to 2. That completes the over. 377 for 5. Yeah, Zaman Akhtar plays for Gloucestershire, this is his county. And my co-commentator at Gloucestershire, Ian Randall, got his car hit by Zaman in the car park with a huge 6 the other week.
That's a batter. That'll be so satisfying. Can you imagine? Coming down the track, lofting it over behind the pavilion, and then you hear a smash.
Luckily, it hit the tyre.
Oh, no, I think it would be so satisfying.
Yeah, he did send me a social media message, though, of a clip where the New Zealand commentator Ian Smith gets his car hit whilst he's commentating, and it's a hire car, and it's one of the most amusing bits of social media content you'll see out there.
Harshit Rana into Dan Mosley. And starts off with a shorter one. Mosley pretty happy just to get under those. We've seen that throughout the course of his innings so far.
Yeah, Rana searching for his first wicket.
It's time to get back to the top of his mark. That is for sure. It's in for his 18th over here. Harshit Rana. Plays that late. Shouts of it. Did you get it from some of the young spectators around the ground? Did you get the autograph? Did he sign it?
They're having fun. Got to go back to school tomorrow, haven't they? Half-term week here in England.
And a bit of a looser shot there from Dan Mosley.
Still did that elegantly, though, didn't he?
Elegantly, but it just seemed a bit half-hearted from him. $377 for 5 here, England Lions.
Yep, 31 needed to avoid the follow-on.
Again, has a bit of a waft at this one. Getting tempted by the angle created here by Harshit Rana.
Yeah, slower ball, I think, there. I think Rana's just rolled his fingers over it.
Three wickets lost in the Lions innings so far today. Max Holden gone for 101. James Rue out LBW. To Mukesh Kumar and Rehan Ahmed as well, caught at second slip by Sarfraz Khan off the bowling.
Slow going here at Canterbury. 44 runs been added in an hour and 20 post-lunch. Off 16 overs.
They haven't been rushed at all here, India A, to get through their overs. And just as much as they've been lax in the field, these two batters out there in the middle have been running hard and taking on those opportunities to come back for a couple where possible. 379 for 5 at the end of the over.
Yeah, good placement there from Mosley. Just gets it into the pocket. And he'll go back for 2. There's the scene on your television. The Freeman Retirement Flats to your left-hand side. Where Nikki Chowdhury will be parading on the balcony one day, watching
Old and wrinkly.
Kent.
If there's one thing that makes you look forward to retirement, those flats aren't far off from it.
That's played pleasantly by Haynes. They think about 2 on the misfield. Yeah, but as long as they don't build in front of those retirement flats, a double-decker, the Zach Crawley stand, that's what you can't have. That would ruin your view.
Nice set of flats by Lords as well, actually, if you're making me think about what ground has nice flats around it.
Bit pricey. Bit pricey, though.
Yeah, when I win the lottery, those ones.
Oh, that's a big shot there from Mosley. He's looking to get on with it, I think. Anshul just bowling lengths. Mosley getting on the dance floor and trying to smash him back towards the city centre. If he'd connected with that one, might have cleared the spire of the cathedral.
Suddenly starts to play maybe a shot out of character, Dan Mosley, once in a while.
It's more conservative. Forward defensive, which dribbles out on the onside. Anshul coming in. It's been turned into the leg side. He's going to get 4 runs for that. Nice shot. Mosley going through the gears here. He's on to 37. Haynes 156. Absolute marathon. Anshul still bustling in. Oh, that's an inside edge which dribbles past leg stump. The Surrey cut, as they call it in this neck of the woods. And 1 more to Mosley's total.
Moves on to 38. "35 minutes out from tea here now on day 3.
Here's Anshul. That's a drive without any sense of timing. Haynes just clossing that one. And the ball going out to mid-on. That's the only over. 91 overs gone in this Lions innings. And there's a minimum of 51 remaining in the day today. I'm not sure we're going to get 51 in.
I don't think we will. That's a long, long way to go. And as you mentioned, Dan, we've got a cut-off time of 6:30 here. And with a 20-minute tea break scheduled as well, I think it's going to be quite a tough job to bowl 51 overs all before 6:30 today.
Yet news from Cardiff, where England are playing the West Indies. The West Indies have been bowled out in the 48th over for 308. 4 wickets for Adil Rashid, 3 for Saqib Mahmood. Meanwhile, here at Canterbury, the second string, 385 for 5.
Now a change in bowling as well from the Nackington Road end. Mukesh Kumar is going to come back into the attack now for the first time in the afternoon session, replacing Nitish Kumar Reddy and Harshit Rana, who've already bowled from this end. Already in the afternoon session. Into Dan Mosley. It's the third bowler to come in from the Nackington Road end this afternoon. Two slips and a gully. That's gone straight to gully.
Wind dies down, doesn't it? And then it gets up again all of a sudden. We saw, who was it this morning? Was it Rana who pulled out of his run-up? Didn't he? The sudden gust of wind.
It was Shuttle Tucker as well from the pavilion
Shuttle,
end.
that's it, yeah.
Slashed away down to deep point. .386 for 5. Retaking his guard here, Tom Haynes. They've got someone in there now for Haynes. They've realised that it's a shot he likes. And if he's a bit early on it, he will find the fielder. Just like he has there.
Yeah. I think this pitch has got slower and lower as the game's gone on. And I think it's now quite hard to time the ball. It's not as easy to time the ball, is it? Those forcing shots sort of going nowhere now.
An example of that once again. That would have beaten the fielder yesterday.
Yeah. The ball was coming onto the bat a lot more, wasn't it, yesterday? And it's just maybe just sticking in the surface a little bit today as this track has got older. I mean, it happens with a cricket wicket. Doesn't make it a bad thing. Nothing's misbehaved at all.
Yeah, this struggling to find the feel of bat on ball here. So hence they're just trying to push at it a little bit. Because they had that yesterday when they were out there in the middle. Tom Haines just touch it and go. And right now, here on day 3 in the afternoon session, it's not coming at ease, just becoming slightly more difficult. Just 1 run off the over there from Kumar. 386 for 5 Lions. And they trail by 171.
Yeah, slow going this afternoon. There's Haines and Mosley having a chat on his screen. Fist bump. What do you think they're discussing? Where to go for dinner tonight in Canterbury?
Sport for choice.
You are, actually.
You would know. Shardul Thakur is going to be coming back into the attack.
Yeah.
At the pavilion end as the announcement gets made on the tannoy.
I would have probably gone to Dubé here. I think get the spinners on, see if there's with a newer ball it'll spin quicker.
Well, the new ball experiment didn't really work for India A.
Thakur. Clipped off the legs by Mosley. He's got that into the gap. He's going to get 2. Dubé fields and hurls the ball in.
Yeah, they could. They'll probably give Shardul Thakur a shot now and see if something can happen. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Dubé back into the attack just before tea time.
Mosley just drops that one into the offside, opens the face and just runs it backward a square through that vacant backward point region. Goes out to the fielders out in the deep, patrolling the line. And they'll just take a single.
Northamptonshire's also quite a nice deck to bat on, isn't it?
It's a good cricket wicket, Northampton. It's got a little bit for everyone. Are you working that one up there? No. It's a... It's got a little bit in it for everyone. Clipped. Wide of mid-on. Good work by the fielder there. Keeps them down to a single. Yeah, it's got good pace and carry. It turns, but generally it's a good batting track. I think it's a good cricket wicket, Northampton.
Are you up there for that game?
No, I'm not. No, I've got a few days off actually. I'm covering Essex women's game on Wednesday.
T20 Blast?
Yeah.
The blast is underway.
That's over the top.
On
And-
the charge here, Dan Mosley. I love that.
Yeah. One bounce and crashes into the advertising boards in front of the Frank Woolley stand. Gun barrel straight. Lovely shot by Mosley.
That's really showing some authority there from Dan Mosley. Charging down against Shardul Thakur. Just watches it fly by.
As he pushes that one through point. Moves on to 47. Deserves a 50, Mosley. I like the look of him. He's impressed me.
Oh, he has. He's batted well.
Up the India A squad walking around in front of us. Is that Isham Kishan?
At the back end of this year, actually, they've announced the dates for that one. ILT20 taking place throughout the course of December. Just to adjust for the World Cup dates. Oh, a lovely bit of carry through from Rana there.
Imperious from Haynes. Bisects the two cover
Back
fielders
nicely, Dan Mosley.
It's an interesting one, isn't it,
these franchise leagues around the
to
world.
the cover
because
boundary.
At the moment, they're talking about cutting back the county championship here in England, and the players are playing too much.
Lovely shot. Just got his weight right there. That's the Indy over. 399 for 5. Just 9 needed now to avoid the follow on.
That's expensive there. 13 runs off that over Shardul Thakur.
Yeah, Haynes moving into the 160s.
He's been named in that main squad, has Thakur, to take on England. It just makes you wonder if you're being sent down the ground by Dan Mosley. You've got a big summer ahead of you. One try of getting 400 up on the board here. England Lions. Takes place. Actually, the
Yeah,
back end of
Jeet
this
Singh
year,
Dale this
actually.
morning, he
They've
said he
announced the
thought
dates for that one.
500 was about
ILT20
par
taking
on this
place
wicket.
throughout the course of December.
I think
Just
England are going
just
to
for the World Cup
get to
date.
par.
Oh, a lovely
Hell.
bit of carry through from Rana.
Not over. They go, and how quickly they go.
Mukesh Kumar. He pleads here. What's going down? And that will bring up the 400 on the board as well for England Lions. 400 up on the scoreboard. Tom Haynes on 161. Dan Mosley with 47 to his name. And they trail by 157.
Yeah, you've got to be doing quite a bit around the wicket. You've got to be pitching it middle and straightening it if you want an LBW. Otherwise, it's going to go down the leg side.
Another leg bite. Likes the glance, does Tom Haynes.
Yeah, England are just looking to accelerate a little now, aren't they? It was rather pedestrian, wasn't it, about 45 minutes ago?
Yeah, you can just see them changing gears slowly here. Again, looking to access the leg side here. Just has to be careful because we saw a similar situation with James Rue trying to turn the ball into the leg side against Mukesh Kumar. Failed to track his front leg back and he got trapped LBW.
Yeah, he's got to be also careful, Kumar, where he's appealing. Going right down the middle of the track there. That might attract the attention of the umpires.
That's better, looking to play it straighter here, Dan Mosley. He's hit that straight onto the back of his leg, where you don't have padding. I'm going to leave a nice
Ouch.
little mark. That's a bad one when you hit the ball onto the back of your leg, or if you're really unfortunate, you hit the ball right onto your foot.
Yeah, onto the ankle at the back.
Oh.
There's no protection. That hurts.
You always get hit when there's no padding, no protection. That's better timed from him.
.401 for 5. Sun comes out. The famous lime tree here at Canterbury. Blowing in the wind. Well, it's a clone of the lime tree, which was actually inside the playing area. The original was about 20 yards further in.
And that will end the over as well. 401 for 5 here. Just 2 leg buys in the over.
Yeah, 20 minutes to tea. More autographs being signed for the kids.
Impressed with Mukesh Kumar getting the 3 wickets in the morning session. Max Holden, James Rue, Rayan Ahmed all fell to him. And of course, it's his maiden first-class game in England. He took 11 wickets in 2 matches for India A versus Australia A. But unfortunately didn't get a game in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. He's been impressive today, making up from yesterday as he makes his way down towards the boundary line in front of us. We are going to be continuing with Shardul Thakur after got hit for 13 in the last over.
Yeah, he gets another one. That's just played into the covers. The Indian substitute fielders having a laugh with the crowd right here in front of us. Made Nicky chuckle.
You say it as though it's a hard thing.
Haynes, stand and deliver. 4 more.
It's a lovely looking shot there.
Yeah, I think if it's in Tom Haynes' half now, I think he's going to go through, free his arms up.
Moves on to 165. Just look at the fluidity, the weight transfer into the shot down the ground.
Tucker bowls and Haynes drives again, but Tucker just holding it. Was that one?
Needed an innings like this from Tom Haynes as well, especially after the scurry of wickets this morning. Good partnership with Max Holden. Tom Haynes also being dropped 3 times in his innings so far. Once on 11, second on 83.
Oh, big swing, no ding from Haynes.
And then dropped again on 112. And that went straight into the gloves of Dhruv Jurel and immediately out again. The bowling of Harshit Rana.
Harshit Rana. He's a man who can multitask. Oh, and that's again another big shot from Haynes to complete the over, but he doesn't connect.
Don't get greedy, Tom Haynes. End of the over, 405 for 5. Mukesh Kumar's the one who can multitask as he's signing autographs in one hand or keeping the eye on the ball in the other.
Running back onto the field, and now he's going to take his turn to bowl from the Nackington Road end. I mean,
Well, who said that men can't multitask, eh?
hey.
He's just defied the fact. I'm not going to believe anyone now. If they say, I'm sorry, I can't multitask.
No.
Just point them in the direction of Mukesh Kumar. Signing autographs, taking selfies, fielding the ball on the boundary line. Rolling his arm over from the Nackington Road end. He's better off trying to play that towards mid-on here. Dan Mosley.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's trying to work it to square, isn't he? He's closing the bat face off. Needs to show Mukesh Kumar the maker's name.
No, that's better. Full face of the bat. I just think as soon as he's trying to close the face of the bat into the leg side there. Not able to track his foot.
Yeah, Kumar's bowling tidily though, isn't he? He's not giving him any freebies. He's bowling a good length, just back of a length, and he's angling it into the body, not giving Mosley any room to get his levers going.
If he just opens up his shoulders a little bit, he'll be able to access that mid-on area. Dan Mosley. Comes through with the action there, Mukesh Kumar. 405 for 5. 10 minutes away. Time. 3:40 is when we'll take tea here in Canterbury. That's better. Gone straight to mid-on there. Seems a bit frustrated though, Dan Mosley hasn't been able to beat the fielder. I just think you need to realise there's no rush. I'm suddenly starting to sense some urgency from him. We're 10 minutes away from tea. The last thing he wants to do now is give it away. Slip in a gully and play. And this is a good start. We spoke about how India A's fielding has been on the sloppier side, but that has completely made up for it. And that's just going to frustrate Mosley a little bit more. He's trying to get... I just feel like he's trying... Run till England can with the follow on.
As an 8-year-old child just told his mates walking past. Very good. Very good knowledge.
Run till England can with the follow on.
As an 8-year-old child just told his mates walking past. Very good. Very good knowledge.
Be surprised by what 8-year-olds know nowadays.
Lawn figure.
And this is missing the outer edge of Dan Mosley. It was just a very loose shot from him. Just sense that he's getting frustrated. He looks behind him. And Dhruv Jurel half-heartedly appeals for that one as well. And there will only be one no ball in that over. 406 for 5. Dan Mosley, you just sense that frustration now in him, Dan. He's looking for that magic shot. He needs that boundary, but I really don't see any rush for him to try and create it right now. We have a couple of overs left. 7 minutes to go. But Kumar should be happy with himself right here. He's bowled well today.
Yeah, this will probably be the last one before tea from Shardul Thakur.
17 overs. 358 here, Mukesh Kumar.
Haynes defends. That open face again.
Stays behind off the ball a bit again, Haynes. He's looked very affirmative. If I can get my words out. when he's showed pure purpose to get forward. Sometimes just leaning back, keeping his head in the middle when we've seen his head lift off a little bit.
Again defended. Push to mid on. It's like misfield. Haynes thinks about it. The fielder saying, tempting Haynes. Saying, come on, run on the misfield. Might be the only way they can get him out at the moment. He's batting that well. Again, the ball goes out to mid-on. I've seen that happen a few times. In fact, I had a coach of a county once admitted to me that they were bowling for run-outs and said it in all seriousness.
Bowling for run-out.
Yeah, bowling for run-outs.
I like the fact that they were honest.
Brutally honest. Yeah. Yeah, I won't name names, but well-known coach. Pushed into extra cover. We'll actually get one more in after this before tea.
I think we will.
That clock over there is slightly fast, I think, on the top of the Cheeseman stand. Above where the players' dressing rooms are. Hayes plays. Isn't looking short, but only get one for it because there's a fielder out on the fence. 407 for 5. Haynes goes on to 166. Daniel Mousley, 47.
On track for his 13th half-century.
Just hurries Mosley up a little. Goes to try and pull it and gets hit in the venerables. You listen to me, Dan Whiting and Nikki Chowdhury here on the ECB channel and app. England Lions, versus India A. Live from the Spitfire ground, St Lawrence. Warm and sunny now, Canterbury.
A nice partnership of 81 runs between Tom Haynes and Dan Mosley going on here. This will probably be the final over before tea from Mukesh Kumar at the Nackington Road end. Looks to make space, and that's a bottom edge.
Yeah, he's lucky there.
So Jarrell, who really dropped his head. Disappointed.
There's umpire Tom Lungley in the background.
Tall man himself.
Yeah, he was a tearaway fast bowler at Derbyshire.
That's a fine tickle hit.
And Haynes will move on to 167. Finger lines 408 for 5. Final over before tea on day 3 here in Canterbury. India A were bowled out for 557 yesterday.
The fuller one's been avoided anyway. What I'd really love to see, and it's not going to happen. Funky declaration at tea, 140 behind. India A go and smash it around in the final session. Yeah, 160. Set England lines 3:30 tomorrow morning.
That would be
Well,
making sure we end up with the result. Just the one again. Very comfortable just playing that shot, Dan Mosley. Who's on to 48.
the chances of that happening, well,
Doesn't look like it, I'll be honest with you.
Bob Hope, the Cape of Good Hope and No Hope spring to mind.
I don't see a declaration happening anytime now, especially when Tom Haynes is out there still. 167. And this has run down ever so fine, and it will not be stopped, unfortunately. And it crosses the boundary rope. It will be leg byes, 413 for 5. Nearly time for tea. It's going to be interesting to see how this surface plays tomorrow. Starting to see signs of wear and tear. Bit of wear and tear amongst India A fielders as well. Waits for that one, does Tom Haynes. And that will be tea here on day 3 in Canterbury. Lions are 413 for 5. We've lost the 3 wickets of Max Holden, James Drew, and Rehan Ahmed. And well, since we've been back after lunch, it's been Dan Mosley and Tom Haynes out there in the middle. They've got a partnership of 83 runs between them as the players head off alongside the umpires, James Middlebrook and Tom Lungley. They'll be off for 20 minutes. And you can catch myself, Nikki Chowdhury, and Dan Whiting back here very soon. It's been untroubled for the England Lions batters since both Mosley and Tom Haynes have been at the crease. And having taken the new ball after 80 overs, well, they still haven't been able to get the breakthrough. So we'll join you back in 20 minutes' time.
For many, they wait for one call. And like you, I dreamt about it over and over again. At home. At training. In the street. With friends. See, when you answer your call and you pull on the shirt, a fire is lit. This is it, the team for you. You love it. You don't think of much else. Drawn to its past, people. The moments you can't describe. It's a skillful game, a passionate game, an extraordinary game. It's a game for you, for me, for all of us. So this is your call.
The spirit of cricket is a really precious thing.
The spirit of cricket.
Does the spirit of cricket exist?
It's about the spirit of the game.
Spirit of cricket is a bit cliche, but actually it's important to what makes the game.
What is it? This game we call cricket. Some say it's just that, a game. A way to pass the time. Made up of overs and innings, wickets and runs that can last 5 days or a mere afternoon. But it's more than that, isn't it? It's more than the stumps and the wickets, the bat and the ball, more than winning and losing. What makes cricket cricket is us, the people. The people that play, volunteer, organise, spectate and facilitate. From the leaders on the fields to those behind. The scenes. Cricket is. They see a game. They see a game for me. These are the values that make this game great, and they've always been there. But it's up to us now to carry them forward, with every ball, every stroke, every session of play, so that together we can help shape this beautiful game, this game that we love, this game we call cricket.
We're here today to launch the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2026, We're here today to launch the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2026, which we are hosting here in England and Wales across 7 iconic venues next summer.
To have a home World Cup, to have watched it in the crowd and to have some like a competition like that to look forward to next year is really, really special.
I want to support women's cricket in as many ways as I can, and I think we all need to find ways to support them, attend the games and root for our favorite teams and all the players.
I feel like I've played World Cups all around the world now, and it's going to be so exciting to play at home, play at Old Trafford. I think it's really exciting.
The energy today at this event was amazing. Sitting next to Malala, sitting across from Ellie. Energizing, empowering, and I think it was kind of a call of duty.
I think today's really important because you brought a whole bunch of people with different perspectives into one room. It's very rare that you get everybody to clear their diaries to do that, and it just goes to show how important it is as well.
It'll pass quicker than you can ever imagine. Even the build-up to it, I think the build-up is almost just as special as the tournament itself.
You can kind of feel like something is changing.
You immediately feel like you're part of it and you're part of a movement.
What it means for us to host the World Cup, and I look back as a huge sports fan and think of the Euros for women and what that did for women's sport, football. We've now got a chance to go beyond what football did and for it to become that seminal moment for cricket, for sport in this country.
But every time there is a victory, it is a ripple effect. It affects women's salaries and what they get because of their skill set, their dynamic personalities, and the audience that they grow, everybody wins.
I think that it's just a really great opportunity to be able to build now on everything that we've spoken about today, so that next year is just the most amazing summer and it's a brilliant event.
We need your support. We love your support, and hopefully you can roar us on to many victories.
It's the year that women's cricket breaks into the mainstream and stays there.
Save up to an extra £1,000 on a new Toyota. The Toyota-thon is on. Sale event ends 31st of May.
For many, they wait for one call. And like you, I dreamt about it over and over again. At home. At training. In the street. With friends. See, when you answer your call and you pull on the shirt, a fire is lit. This is it, the team for you. You love it. You don't think of much else. Drawn to its past, its people. The moments you can't describe. A skillful game, a passionate game, an extraordinary game. It's a game for you, for me, for all of us. So this is your call.
The spirit of cricket is a really precious thing.
The spirit of cricket.
Does the spirit of cricket exist?
It's about the spirit of the game.
The spirit of cricket is a bit cliche, but actually it's important to what makes the game.
What is it? This game we call cricket. Some say it's just that. A game. A way to pass the time. Made up of overs and innings, wickets and runs that can last 5 days. Or a mere afternoon. But it's more than that, isn't it? It's more than the stumps and the wickets, the bat and the ball. More than winning and losing. What makes cricket cricket is us, the people. The people that play, volunteer, organise, spectate and facilitate. From the leaders on the fields to those behind the scenes. Cricket is what we make it, the values we share. It's a game run on respect, built on fairness and decency, where we embrace enjoyment, build belonging, and progress with purpose, so that to anyone watching, they see a game for me. These are the values that make this game great, and they've always been there. But it's up to us now to carry them forward, with every ball, every stroke, every session of play, so that together we can help shape this beautiful game. This game that we love. This game we call cricket.
We're here today to launch the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2026, which we are hosting here in England and Wales across 7 iconic venues next summer.
To have a home World Cup, to have watched it in the crowd and to have some a competition like that to look forward to next year is really, really special. And to have some a competition like that to look forward to next year is really, really special.
I want to support women's cricket in as many ways as I can, and I think we all need to find ways to support them, attend the games, and root for our favorite teams and all the players.
I feel like I've played World Cups all around the world now, and it's been so exciting to play at home, play at Old Trafford. I think it's really exciting.
The energy today at this event was amazing. Sitting next to Malala, sitting across from Ellie, energizing, empowering, and I think it was kind of a call of duty.
I think today's really important because you brought a whole bunch of people with different perspectives into one room. It's very rare that you get everybody to clear their diaries to do that. And it just goes to show how important it is as well.
It'll pass quicker than you can ever imagine. Even the build-up to it, I think the build-up is almost just as special as the tournament itself.
You can kind of feel like something is changing.
You immediately feel like you're part of it and you're part of a movement.
What it means for us to host a World Cup, and I look back as a huge sports fan and think of the Euros for the women and what that did for women's sport, for football. We've now got a chance to go beyond what football did, and for it to become that seminal moment for cricket, for sport in this country.
But every time there is a victory, it is a ripple effect. It affects women's salaries and what they get because of their skill set, their dynamic personalities, and the audience that they grow. Everybody wins.
I think that it's just a really great opportunity to be able to build now on everything that we've spoken about today, so that next year is just the most amazing summer and it's a brilliant event.
We need your support. We love your support, and hopefully you can roar us on to many victories.
It's the year that women's cricket breaks into the mainstream and stays there.
Save up to an extra £1,000 on a new Toyota. The Toyota-thon is on. Sale event ends 31st of May.
For many, they wait for one call. And like you, I dreamt about it over and over again.
At home. At training. In the street. With friends.
You see, when you answer your call and you pull on the shirt, a fire is lit.
This is it. The team for you. You love it. You don't think of much else. Drawn to its past, its people. The moments you can't describe. A skillful game, a passionate game, an extraordinary game.
A game for you, for me, for all of us.
So this is your call.
The spirit of cricket is a really precious thing.
The spirit of cricket.
Does the spirit of cricket exist?
It's about the spirit of the game.
Spirit of cricket is a bit cliche, but actually it's important to what makes the game.
What is it? This game we call cricket. Some say it's just that. A game. A way to pass the time. Made up of overs and innings, wickets and runs that can last 5 days or a mere afternoon. But it's more than that, isn't it? It's more than the stumps and the wickets, the bat and the ball, more than winning and losing. What makes cricket cricket is us, the people. The people that play, volunteer, organise, spectate and facilitate. From the leaders on the fields to those behind the scenes. Cricket is what we make it, through the values we share. It's a game run on respect, built on fairness and decency.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Canterbury as we get set to kick off the evening session. England Lions 413 for 5. Tom Haines on 167. Dan Mosley just 2 runs shy of his half century, trailing by 144. And the new ball was taken at the 80th over. But unfortunately for India 8, they haven't been able to get this breakthrough that they have so desperately needed. And a partnership of 83 runs between Tom Haines and Dan Mosley has just been ticking on by. And safe to say, it's been a pretty flat session. Wouldn't you think so, Dan?
Yeah, it certainly was. 80 runs added in 26 overs in 2 hours. It was
It's been a slow session in terms of over rate as well.
Yeah.
It hasn't helped. We still have 44 overs left in the day, but as Dan mentioned earlier, 6:30 is the cutoff time, and I don't see 44 overs being bowled in the next 2.5 hours, especially at the rate India A have been conducting themselves on the field.
Yeah, there's the scene as well. Blue skies and sunshine bathing the ground.
Yeah, that marquee tent right in the middle of the screen is where Dan and I have been put up.
Yeah. And
Those are the retirement flats as well to the left, where Dan's on track to get himself moved in sometime soon.
yeah. View back across towards Thanet, back towards sort of Margate and Broadstairs, that area.
Got a few more years left till I can put my name down on the application list on that, but quite fancy the one on the top far left. Nice balcony. Tom Haines, though, absolutely brilliant out there. 167 for him, and he's played with the bowlers nicely, really accessing all areas of the ground. Coming out with the reverse sweep against the spin of Dubé. And of course, it's really run well as well. Taken on the leg side more often than not. Looking to make some space on the offside as the umpires make their way out onto the middle. James Middlebrook and Tom Lungley.
Yeah, Peter Such, your match referee as well. He gets about Peter Such. He seems to be always doing the game that I'm doing as match referee.
Maybe he's following you. Maybe he looked at the rotor to see where Dan Whiting's been placed.
We had this with Jack Chantry last year, and I wrote about it in my book. And I did a game in Bristol on the Thursday, Gloucestershire versus Essex. Jack Chantry was there. I then covered a game for Surrey on the Friday in Cardiff, Glamorgan versus Surrey. Jack Chantry was there. I did Surrey versus Kent at the Oval on the Sunday night. Jack Chantry was there, and I saw him at all three. And I said, look, I'm not following you around the country. You don't have to put a restraining order on me, Jack. I'm not stalking you, mate. So,
Players making their way on to the field of play after the tea break. Maybe warm themselves with a cup of tea or a cup of chai. In the breezy conditions here in Canterbury. You ever had a cup of chai?
No, I haven't. No, not a proper sort of Indian one. I'm not really a tea drinker. I like a coffee.
I promise you, that could convert you.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
You've got to have a proper cup of chai. Not any of this chai tea business, I'm sorry.
Like a Darjeeling? No.
No, it's...
Oh. Got that wrong, haven't I?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to get yourself out to India. Get yourself roadside. And go to one of the tea stalls. And indulge in a nice hot cup of Karak chai.
Of?
Karak chai.
Karak?
K-A-D-A-K. Karak chai.
Okay. Is that a special type of chai?
It's normal tea with milk and a bit of sugar.
Okay. Like breakfast tea?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like it's boiled over a while. It's like over a while, and it's nice, thick, and flavoured with some cardamom and.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds, yeah, interesting. Interesting.
Lovely on a cooler day like it is today. As we kick things off from the pavilion end.
And Mosley gets off the mark with one just nurdled into the onside. And he moves on to 49. Big fan of Indian food. There's a place in London which is like Mumbai street food, which I really like. And a lot of southern Indian places I like. You know,
Do you like your spice then?
yeah, Kerala, fish curries, and that sort of region down there. I'd like to go and visit that part of the world, like Pondicherry and all that sort of part of the world down in the south of India.
The French influence in Pondicherry.
Yeah,
Portuguese over in Goa.
yeah. Kumar Reddy, and that has gone through the slip cordon. The slip's very wide there.
Extremely wide. Had he been in a more conventional slip position, that could have been an opportunity. But Tom Haynes moves on to 171 with that boundary. Perhaps he raced down the hill as well. That was the first boundary of the evening session.
Yeah, Haynes riding his luck a little bit there, but I think he
Well, he's
deserves it.
and a few chances of luck.
He's
hasn't
earned
he?
the right. He's earned the right, though.
Been dropped 3 times, dropped on 11, on 83, and then on 112.
Kumar Reddy in, and where's that gone?
He's got no idea where that's gone, but it's gone straight back in front towards
It's hit him on the head.
Kumar Reddy.
That's why. It's hit him on the head. Let's hope Haynes is all right here.
And this is just going to be the mandatory concussion test that's needed.
Yeah.
He's gone a bit too early on it, actually, Tom Haynes.
Yeah. There'll be those questions. Who's the Prime Minister?
You get to choose your own questions in the concussion test, so each player gets to, well, this is what I've heard, they have a set bank of questions. They have to give the physio their answers, and physio has to like go through that. Okay, Tom's just had a ball on the head. What were his questions? And I ask him and see if he remembers them.
Ah, okay. What's your first pet's name?
Concussed or not, I wouldn't remember that.
I know that's your bank password, isn't it? That's a different thing completely.
You know when you have to go update your password and it says it's time to change your password after how many of a month it's been.
Yeah.
And then you go and put in your new one and you're like, no, this password has already been used. And then you're just losing options here. I'm like, what else do I... You just find variations of like the same password.
Going back to Indian food, though, a few years ago I got as a present Rick Stein's Indian cookbooks. He'd been around India and taken curries from a lot of different regions, and I got really into it. I cook now, make my own paste.
Oh, you do the whole shebang.
Yeah, garam masala is my friend.
You make your own garam masala, do you?
No,
Oh.
I buy garam
I was
masala.
going to say, that was really going to impress me.
Yeah, no. But, you know, I think you can do anything with garam masala.
Yeah, it makes it better if you make it yourself as well at home. Toast your own spices and grind it down. I'm asking too much of you now, Dan.
Yeah, now you're getting like really technical on me. But turmeric is now a superfood, isn't it?
I think turmeric's always been a superfood. And
Has it?
It's just been made popular.
Right. Okay.
Because the whole invention of a turmeric latte, it's existed in Indian culture for years. And we've had it as turmeric milk. And then suddenly, with social media and Ayurvedic health coming into the scene, becoming more popular, that is the delivery that's causing the disruption here in Canterbury at the moment, as Tom Haynes is just getting checked up by the England Lions physio after having one on the helmet. Doesn't look too disturbed.
No, I think he's all right. It's just getting a new helmet. They have to swap the helmet over, don't they? Turmeric gets everywhere, though, doesn't it? It gets into you.
Good for you, though.
Yeah. But
The
it
inflammatories.
gets into your fingernails, it gets everywhere. And if you got to be careful what you touch after turmeric, because you can turn your whole house yellow. All your light switches,
I don't know what you're doing with all this turmeric, Dan.
your oven dial, it's all yellow in my
What have you been
house.
doing? Do you just pop your hand into the spice jar?
No, I coat. Sometimes I coat chicken, you see, and hand rub it in.
Then you're meant to wash your hands, otherwise you might end up with salmonella.
Ah, that's where I'm going wrong.
Just getting his helmet checked. Tom Haines.
Raw chicken, not good for you then, though.
Well, clearly you're still fighting strong next to me, so can't be that bad.
It's like Turkish delight, isn't it?
485 England Lions.
Let's move back to the cricket. We've
not
still
much-
got a delay to Tom Haines.
Yeah, not much cricket going on currently as Tom Haines just has a chat with the physio. I think there's something up with the helmet from what we can see. He's just trying to get it back into its correct position. Haines on 171. And on his wagon wheel, just seeing how he's accessing all areas of the ground. Made space on the offside, shuffled across and accessed the leg side, come down the track as well on a couple of occasions. And then, of course, gone with the reverse sweep against Harsh Dubé. And we've seen the conventional sweep shot come out into play as well. Mosley on 49. On track for his 13th half a century in first-class cricket. But yeah, lovely scenes over the ground here in Canterbury. The floodlight just above us in the marquee.
Yeah, a lot of history in this part of the world. Was the Canterbury Cathedral, was where poor old Thomas Becket got his head lopped off. And then during the Second World War,
That name really rings a bell to me now, but that just shows how much attention I paid in my history classes.
wow. Yeah. But Second World War, Battle of Britain, which is why the links are with Spitfire. And you'll see the advertisements for the beer, which is from a local brewery here, Shepherd Neame, Spitfire beer, because of this part of the world. And also a lot of boats went from further down in Kent down to Dunkirk.
Well, it looks like we are going to get some more cricket back as Tom Haines seems to have sorted his helmet out, and umpire James Middlebrook and Tom Lungy disperse into their positions.
Yeah, thankfully Haynes is all right.
We have a slight delay, but as long as Tom Haines is okay, he's on 171 here as we've just come back after the tea break, and that was just the third ball of that first over after the tea break, in which we saw Tom Haines get one on the helmet. But he seems all right now, and he's ready to go. Nitish Kumar ready to continue.
Yeah, he's quite slippery. Kumar ready, and he comes. Haynes looks all right. Lays that one nicely to mid-off.
Sometimes it can startle you, right? If you get one on the head.
Yeah, I've been hit a few times. I got hit quite badly once without a lid. Fielding in at silly mid-off. Probably answers a lot, doesn't it? Ball actually went for 4 off my head.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I was on the ground. As that's pushed into the offside. Yeah, I was on the ground. Apparently, it made a horrible clunk.
That explains so much.
But what happened, there was 2 balls to go for the end of the over, and skipper put me in there. I thought, I'll get the lid at the end of the over, save a bit of time. First ball, our off-spinner's thrown up a lovely, juicy full toss, which the batsman has screamed into my head from about a yard away. So always wear a lid, kids. We've got to now as kids. But even grown-ups always stick a lid on. As that's pushed back to the bowler.
5 runs from the over. 418 for 5.
It seemed a long time ago, that boundary where Haynes edged it through the slips. I think that over took about 15 minutes, didn't it? More, 17 minutes.
At least he's okay. And he's ready to go, Tom Haynes. We'll see a change in bowling as well from the Nackington Road end. Shardul Thakur coming back into the attack for the evening session. Day 3 at the Spitfire Ground in Canterbury, listening and watching England Lions taking on India A on the ECB website app. And of course, Dan Whiting and myself, Nikki Chowdhury, talking you through the final session of the day. Slipping a gully in place for Mosley. And that will bring up his half century for Dan Mosley. His 13th half century here in first class cricket. He's played a brilliant knock alongside Tom Haynes.
Yeah, well batted, Dan Mosley. Fluent, elegant, and entertaining. In an afternoon that hasn't always offered much.
A partnership of 93 between them now. Leans into it, Tom Haynes. And again, just like yesterday when India A started to look a bit deflated within the evening session. Something somewhat similar happening here. Just come back after tea. I'm happy just to block that to extra cover. After he's just been knocked in the helmet in the last over from Nitish Kumar Reddy, Tom Haynes.
You're too young to probably remember pools coupons. Yeah, but you know what the football pools were? Do you know how that operated? It was you had to try and pick out draws every week. This game was on a pools coupon. You'd be putting a big X next to it, I think. I think it's destined to be a draw.
Sure is looking that way. And that has been taken. What a spectacular catch at slip, diving to his left. And that will be the wicket of Tom Haynes. He has a flash at one outside the off stump. And Sarfraz Khan, well, he is like a magnet in at slip. And unfortunately, a magnificent innings from Tom Haynes. The Sussex opener comes to an end. 171 for him. And that will end the partnership of 93 runs between Tom Haynes and Dan Mosley. And he gets the ovation and round of applause he deserves. It's been a pleasure to watch. And an absolute grab from Sarfraz Khan at slip. 419 on the board. England and 6 wickets down.
Yeah, here's the replay. Look at this. Khan on the horizontal, one-handed, away to his left as well. And that is a spectacular grab. Khan, he's tidy in there. He could catch pigeons. And the brilliant innings, Tom Haynes, comes to an end. And that brings Zaman Akhtar to the crease, known by all and sundry in the West Country as Zumar.
Oh, that was an absolute grab from Sarfaraz Khan. We know he's been working really hard on his fitness, but the agility he showed there, you can practice them as much as you want. But when you pull it off, it's something special. And he had a big, big grin on his face after that one. 6 wickets down now. Zaman Akhtar replacing Tom Haynes out there in the middle.
Yeah, Zaman Akhtar can bat. And he'll bat in an entertaining fashion as well. Watch your car, Nikki.
Oh, you really didn't need to say that. He won't get that one away, just stays off the ball. He's been a delight to watch, Tom Haynes, and he was dropped 3 times during the course of his innings. Scored 171, he dropped first on 11 at second slip, and then again dropped on 83 at point when he tried to slash one, and then once again on 112 by the keeper, Dhruv Jurel, off the bowling of Harshit Rana. Nice, pretty looking drive from Akhtar. It will conclude the end of the over from Shardul Thakur. A wicket and a run from it. 419 for 6. And then once you've been dropped and you've been handed a few lives, well, he definitely went on to make the most of it. But this time, that one did stick in the hands of Sarfaraz Khan, diving to his left. 171.
Yeah, I think the rest of the lineup will be Eddie Jack in next. And Josh Hull. And then Ajit Singh Dale bringing up the number 11 position. Anything can happen when he gets a bat in his hand. I've seen him whack a 60 off 25 balls last year and against Essex in the Metro Bank. He's often there for a good time, not a long time. Is Mosley down to face? Tickled off the hip. Out to deep square. Well, it'll just be one. Good work there by Mukesh Kumar down the boundary. Kumar Reddy is bowling from the pavilion end. For 20 for 6. Akhtar just saying hello to that one. He's one of the good guys in the game, Zaman Akhtar. Very nice chap.
Come through Saka?
Came through Saka, apart from being a Chelsea fan, but you know, he's a nice enough guy. He goes walkies on that one and a shy at the stumps from Dhruv Jurel. But Zaman Akhtar gets back.
It looked like he went on an afternoon stroll as he tried to play that one.
Yeah. He's a good hockey player, Zaman Akhtar, as well. I think he's played at
County level?
better. I think he's like played sort of quite good club level. I'm not sure what level he's played, but he's I think he's played for like East of England or someone like that.
Apparently his
Leaves it alone.
main sport was actually hockey growing up.
Yeah, you can see that with his flowing shots because he's got real dexterity of wrist.
I've seen quite a few hockey players come into cricket. I think the main difference is, of course, hockey, you use your bottom hand a lot, and cricket, not as much unless you're playing a cross-bat shot. So hockey players really do have a good touch on it when it comes to playing the sweep shot. That's one they really do get out the middle when they can free that bottom hand.
That's pushed out to mid-off.
But you do sometimes see the tendency, and it can be evident if someone has come from hockey into cricket, just the way they sometimes push through with that bottom hand.
Yeah.
And the grips are a lot different as well, because you can actually get your palm on the hockey stick, as opposed to in cricket when you're holding the bat, you don't really want your bottom hand palm on the bat. That's when you create trouble for yourself.
Unless you're doing slip catching practice. Again, Zuma plays and misses. They have an actor that also does a very good Dan Whiting impression. I've got it on recording.
End of the over, 420 for 6. Yeah, unless you're giving slip catching practice. But one thing I've always been told is that if you're a batter, the last thing you actually want to do is practice giving slip catching practice to your teammates, because you could just end up in bad habits. And of course, if you've got the ability to control yourself, it's good, and many can, but it's just something you don't want to practice. Why practice something that you don't want to do yourself? Let somebody else take responsibility of that, the fielding coach. For that.
Yeah, you're just practicing late cuts, aren't you? I mean, I only had 4 shots anyway. I had the square cut, the late cut, the Harrow cut, and the Surrey cut. So,
Harcourt just got the wicket of Tom Haynes. And here he is to continue from the Nackington Road end. Dan Mosley on 51. His 13th first-class half-century. It's dug deep. Mosley. 93-run partnership with Tom Haynes. But yeah, they have a very good eye for the ball, hockey players. That's for sure. Because the stick they play with is half the size of what cricketers have in their hand. And if you can hit it with a hockey stick. Oh, this might be a run out here. Oh, very casually run through by Zamanak, though. If that ball was on the stumps, he may have just been in trouble.
he wasn't far away. It was quite a good throw.
Yeah, when he was just kind of ball watching at the non-striker's end, and as soon as that came off the bat of Dan Mosley, he knew that was going to be a single. And of course, he just spent so long out there in the middle with Tom Haynes. They were pretty much just signaling to each other for a run just by eye contact. He's got a new partner now. Bottom hand just comes in as he looks to guide it.
It's that slip practice. No, to be fair, it's generally the coaches who do it now, isn't it? The slip practice. It's the, they're the ones who do it, as you said, because batters can get themselves into bad habits doing it.
And it's funny how cricket is a game where bad habits can just sneak in Doesn't have to be something major. Smallest of margins. That's a lovely delivery. Smallest of margins. It could be something as tiny as the angle at which your bat is being held at in your stance, or even when you tap your bat. You know, some batters have had issues with themselves if they've tapped their bat at an angle as well, because it affects how they lift the bat up. Distance between your feet during your stance might have got bigger over time, especially as kids growing up. If you have a growth spurt, that can really affect your stance. The smallest of margins, sometimes you'd probably think, how can that really make a difference? But it does. That's a flamboyant looking shot. It doesn't make any contact with the bat of Akhtar.
No, I find in cricket and in life that bad habits regularly sneak in.
And that's why you have to keep practicing.
Exactly.
Even the greats of the game still out there in the net for hours on end, not because they really haven't hit enough balls in their time, but you're just trying to stop those bad habits creeping in. It's all about feel. And doesn't get this away. Good stop at gully. And that will conclude the end of the over. Just the one run from it. Shardul Thakur's second over in the evening session. 121 for 6.
Yeah, so since tea, England Lions have lost Tom Haynes, who was the mainstay of this innings. 171. A vigil, a marathon. A rock. Mosley and Zaman Akhtar now need to continue. There's Nitish Kumar Reddy is about to bustle in from the pavilion end. That's a good delivery. That just got a little bit big on Mosley.
Yeah, stuck in the crease there. Hasn't really gone towards it.
Yeah, a little bit of concrete feet, but just got drawn into that shot, didn't he? Kumar Reddy pushing him wide. I wonder if it's the 3-card trick. Away. One back into the pads. It's turned wristily out to deep square, and that's a single. Akhtar yet to score, despite being out there for 11 balls. Most unlike him. That's down the leg side. Good take from Dhruv Jurel.
A brilliant take there from Dhruv Jurel. Spring in his step as he jumps to his left. Sun is shining now here in Canterbury. The chilly breeze has disappeared.
Nick, he's still got a coat and rug on.
I always have a coat and rug on. Just getting ready for the retirement life.
So that's just played out to mid-on.
$422 for 6 here, England Lions. Someone up to just out into the middle. Just trying to get one away is Akhtar.
Akhtar still can't pierce the covers. And some quite pleasant shots.
I think that was the most pleasing shot to the eye that he's played so far in his 14 deliveries.
Still plays a little bit of club cricket for Bishop Stortford in the Hertfordshire Premier League. That's probably 4 or 5.
मैंने अपने दिल को मेरे दिल ने मुझको रोका प्यार है क्या एक मस्त हवा का आता जाता झुका जान गवा बैठा जिसने खेला ये खेल दिलों का ओए राजू प्यार ना करियो करियो दिल टूट जाता है
St Lawrence, where it's been quite slow going, but I hope you're still enjoying it wherever you in the world you're joining us from, whether it's from England, whether you're up the road in Margate, or whether you're listening in from India. I hope you're enjoying the cricket, and sometimes these games where they're just slow burners can suddenly fire into life. You never know.
You never know, indeed. Shuttle tackle ready to go. Oh, it's a beautiful delivery there from Thakur. That beats the bat. And he's off on the walk there as well, Dan Mosley. You saw Zaman Akhtar do that earlier, take an afternoon stroll as he tried to play the shot. Dan Mosley just doing something similar. It's on 53. That's better. That's more in line. Trailing by 135 here, England Lions. 4 wickets lost in the course of the day. Max Holden, James Rew, Rayan Ahmed, and of course, Tom Haines for 171. To mid-off. That run rate just dropping slightly here since the wicket of Tom Haines. They all to just feed off each other were Mosley and Haines. Nice hit from Shuttle Tackle, just keeping things quiet and tidy. Some of the India A support staff and squad. So sliced down towards deep point, or just be the single. And some of the support staff and squad just making some laps of the ground.
Yeah, just getting the lactic acid out the muscles.
That's Tushar Deshpande on the boundary line. Down in front of us. Got some drinks in his hand for his teammates. After the long slog out here in the field. 4:23 for 6. Just the one run from the over for 23 for 6. Akter yet to get one pass and add a run to his name.
One of the more curious scoreboards here at Canterbury on the circuit. Some people are big fans of scoreboards around the world. One at Adelaide is one of my favourites in Australia. But it's the most unusual one here at the Spitfire Ground, St Lawrence in Canterbury. Perched on top of the Leslie Ames Pavilion. There's a lot of information on there. Isn't this Kumar ready?
Ready is ready to go.
Oven ready, as Boris Johnson would say. Here he comes up the hill. It's driven to mid-off by Mosley, who just cartwheels his arm, just trying to get rid of the tension in his arms. He's been out there just shy of 100 balls. I believe it's 16.4 overs.
Quick maths.
Just turns that one out to mid-wicket. They're going to take on the arm of Kumar out there. And they come back for 2. Yeah, it's good maths, isn't it? They should have been a competition built around that, perhaps. 100 balls. Again, he finds the fielder more directly, and they'll just settle for a single this time as Mosley moves on to 57 of 100 balls, exactly.
Talking about 100 balls, 100 starts in August. It's off with London Spirit versus the Oval Invincibles at Lords on the 5th of August.
Akhtar gets off the mark with one cheeky one to mid-on.
Yeah, finally gets himself off the mark. Had to really scamper through that. Yeah, lots of changes coming in at the 100 as well here in England. Since the ECP have put up the teams for sale, was it a 49-51 percentage split in
That's
the
right.
ownership?
Yeah, and a lot of Indian investment, isn't there?
Yeah, they are. I'll tell you which teams have gone where in just a second. But 100 on track for a bit of a change from 2026.
Kumar already just tinkering with his field. Pushed out to extra. No run. Go on, who's going where?
Well, so the ECB were seeking private investment into the 100, and they went through the process, I believe, a few months ago now. We went through a bidding process where parties could express their interest in coming on board and taking part ownership. And you've got some very well-known investors from the ITL world as well, joining hands with the GMR Group Joining out with Southern Brave, so GMR are owners of the Delhi Capitals.
Mosley punches that off the back foot to mid-off. Completes the over. 427 for 6.
Reliance Industries have gone over and got a share in the Oval Invincibles. Reliance Industries, the investment behind the Mumbai Indians. You've got the RPSG group in for the Manchester Originals. And they are the team behind Mr. Sanjeev Goenka and LSG. Lucknow Supergiants. And we do have some new surprises as well in terms of investment. We've also got the men behind Washington Freedom in the MLC, the Major League Cricket Tournament that takes place in America. Have bought shares in Welsh Fire. And then some private investment as well over in Silicon Valley. As Shardul Thakur gets his field sorted for Zaman Akhtar. Managed to come through for a single try at the non-striker's end and
मैंने अपने दिल को मेरे दिल ने मुझको रोका प्यार है क्या एक मस्त हवा का आता जाता झुका जान गवा बैठा जिसने खेला ये खेल दिलों का ओए राजू प्यार ना करियो करियो दिल टूट जाता है
It's taking some time to adjust his gloves, Mosley.
But what this means for a number of cash-strapped counties as well is they're going to get a windfall.
Yeah, they get a bit of money, they get a bit of funding coming through from this. And I've heard some counties have already started planning what they'll be doing with this extra funding coming through to them. Lovely looking shot. Lovely looking shot from Dan Mosey. Just pushes at it. And that will be 4 runs. That's lovely. He'll move on to 61. And the line's 432 for 6.
Well, hopefully what it does is makes the county stronger, which in turn, or theoretically, will make the England team stronger.
Well, that's the plan and the idea behind it. So Birmingham Phoenix with Knighthead Capital Management, London Spirit with the Cricket Investor Holdings Limited, Manchester Originals with the RPSG Group behind Lucknow Supergiants, Northern Superchargers gone with Sun TV Network Limited, Oval Invincibles Reliance. Can't get this one away.
The only problem I see is who will own the players. If a player says, right, I want to play for Essex. I don't want to play for London Spirit. I want to play for Essex. Who owns the players then? That's what's, I think, I mean, I'm sure this has been sorted out because, you know, when you do your due diligence or whatever, when you're spending this amount of money, you iron out these things, don't you, beforehand, or your lawyers do, anyway.
That's nicely played again by Mosley, but he won't be mid-on. Yeah, so it was a 51-49% split. And it's important to emphasize, of course, that this private investment has been made into the 100 teams and not the host professional counties or their venues. And the ECB will retain ownership of the central competition, the 100, on behalf of the game. I'll take that on Misfield at mid-on. Means that single comes at more ease than expected. 433 for 6. And ECB will retain control over the wider governance and the ability to protect both the core elements that make the 100 as unique as it is. Really emphasizes on the family aspect, family audiences, men and women on the same stage, double headers at great venues, Lords, the Oval, Old Trafford. Oof. Doesn't get enough on that. One bounce into the slip. Watched well, and that will be the end of another over from Shardul Thakur. 6 runs from it.
Well, seeing how Sarfaraz Khan has been catching, I'm surprised he didn't leap forward and catch that in his mouth. He's got some tricks up his sleeve in that slip cordon. Doobie.
Yeah, I was going to say we might just see some spin.
Yeah. About time. I think we're going to be about 15 overs short at the end of the day.
Harsh Dubey coming back into the attack. So 20 overs, 1 for 84, 2 maidens. And after 26 overs since the new ball's been taken, he finally gets it back.
In he comes. And that's short and pulled out into the deep. Good work from Mukesh Kumar out there, but we'll save 2 runs.
That stung.
Yeah, it's travelling. Mosley just watchful there in defence. Mosley just tickles this one out towards the Freeman House flats. And they just walk through for an easy single. Agda just runs this one down. He'll get a couple. All right. I think Zaman Akhtar's eyes might light up here. And I reckon the Cowdrey Pavilion might be where he's going.
Nope, he's going straight back to Harsh Dubey.
It won't be long. This is very sensible from Zaman Akhtar. Oh, that's got to be close. Not given. No, going down. You can see middle and off stumps.
Yeah, I was just going to say, both stumps visible. End of the over.
Yep.
As Dubé finishes that one wide of the crease, coming in to the right-hander, angling down the leg side.
Tidy from Dewey.
Yeah, change in bowling as well, expected from the Nackington Road end as well. Slipping a gully in place as Harshit Rana comes back into the attack, replacing Shardul Thakur. England Lions resumed day 3, 237 for 2. Now 438 for 6. .201 runs posted on the scoreboard for the loss of 4 wickets throughout the course of the day. 3 of those wickets being in the morning session. And then a wicket for Tom Haines at the start of the evening session. Well, that one really has stayed low. That's it, a funny part on the pitch. And that is well stopped as well. Well stopped